everyone from YouTube. How are you doing today? My name is Eve Parker and I am a sex educator, a life coach, and a spiritual person. And I'm here today to talk about the topic of healing through journaling. For the longest of times, I sort of rejected the idea of journaling. I used to, like everyone as a young person, they have a journal that they write like, oh, today, dear diary, this happened. Today, dear diary, this happened. And I used to do that as a child, but then, growing up, I didn't feel it was like necessary. And then when I tried, I only did it for like a couple of days, and then I sort of gave up on it. I really started to seriously start doing journaling when I moved back from New York City this past May. And ever since then, I've had about like I filled up maybe about 4 or 5 journals since then. Journaling for me, what I do in my journals personally, my journals are filled with all of my thoughts, all of my gratitude. So right when I wake up in the morning, I write down what I'm grateful for. So for instance, I write in my journal, I'm so happy and grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm so happy and grateful for my partner. I'm so happy and grateful for my family. I'm so happy and grateful for the support system that I have. I'm so happy and grateful that I have a body that has strength and is healthy and is strong. And I'm so happy and grateful that I was able to do a workout today and that I can move and that I can breathe. And when you don't have to, I think that people get overwhelmed, myself included, when I first started doing gratitudes, because I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm grateful for. And because when you're thinking about it in a lack mindset, it's sort of hard to sit down and think about things that you're grateful for. But if you really take it in such a simple way, and then it just starts to become easier and easier, and you start to fill up with a lot of emotions and feelings when you're writing about these things. And so, for instance, when you're writing about, I'm so happy and grateful for my partner. Yeah, certain situations are not the most ideal that you're experiencing when it comes to relationships, or when it comes to family, or when it comes to friends or coworkers, or whatever the case may be. But there's so much to be grateful for, and that when you start to write them, it almost creates a snowball effect. And it feels so good when you start to really start looking at the list after you're done, and you're just like, wow, I really do have so much going for me. I have so much to be grateful for. And it doesn't have to be about all the large things in life. It could be about the most simple thing, like you were able to wake up this morning and live another day. You have another chance at life. That in itself is so powerful, and who cannot not be grateful for that? Trust me, a couple of years ago, my mentality was in such a lax state. I used to always say, why are all these bad things happening to me? Why are all these people hurting me? Why am I getting betrayed left and right from people that I thought cared about me? Why do I feel like I'm making one step forward and then I get pushed back? The more and more I kept affirming these things, the more and more they kept happening in my life. And a lot of people that I talk to, they're starting to wake up about those type of things, and there are people out there that still continue to complain about everything and not do anything about it. But I'm telling you, the way that I'm healing personally, because I can't speak for everybody else, the way that I'm healing personally with this is that in these journals, I'm writing down what I'm grateful for. I'm writing down my goals. I'm writing down my dreams. I'm writing down my manifestations. I have so much that I want to accomplish in this life. And I know the people that I want to be there with me when I accomplish these things. And I'm also writing, there are so many things that I want to happen in this life. And whenever I write down, for instance, one of them is, I'm so happy, and I write it in the way that as if it's already happening. So for instance, I write in my journal, I am so happy and grateful that I have been nominated for an Academy Award for Best Director for my original film that I created. It doesn't matter about the hows and the whys, or who's there, who's not there. Just as long as you can evoke that feeling, and I'm telling you, I've had so many visionary dreams and feelings when I'm meditating that evoke emotions as if I'm already in that place. And it's really, really powerful. And so things like that, like write down things as if they're already happening. And so I write things like that down. I write down my short-term goals. I write down my long-term goals. I write down, things that I need to work on in terms of my mindset. I write down notes from videos that I watch that are inspirational, or books that I'm reading, or anything in that case. These journals have been a lifesaver, honestly. These journals have been like my therapy, where I can write down everything and anything. I feel safe. I'm not being judged. I'm not judging myself anymore. So I write down, dreams, and some people say, well, why are you so happy? Don't you have this going on, and this is not so great, and you're living at home, and you got things going on in your relationships, and all these different things. People are so easy to call out all the things that are not happening that you want, but I have changed my mentality and my mindset so much, even just in the past month, about so many things. I'm learning to just kind of let go of control of things that I really honestly have no control over. The only thing and person that I have control over is myself. And I want to believe that everything, and I know that all is well. And these journals, when you're writing in a journal, it holds accountability. So, especially when you're writing down your goals and your wants and desires, and then from there, you have to take radical action. You have to take inspired action. So, especially when it came to these vlogs, I kept putting it off. And I'm just like, why am I putting it off? I'm self-sabotaging myself. Because I wanted everything to be perfect. But guess what? Nothing's ever going to be perfect. So you're never ever going to truly be 100% ready. So you might as well deal with the discomfort and just go diving into it and see what happens. And honestly, I feel so much better now that I'm just I got a little kit, and as things progress and evolve, I'm gonna get better equipment, but at least I'm starting to do something. I posted on my Instagram story yesterday, it's we all have to start somewhere, and rather that we start than make up excuses as to why we can't start. Oh, well, I don't have the proper equipment, or I don't have the funds to pay for a filmmaker to film my vlogs for me. No, just use what you have and start from there, and you're gonna see with the combination of positive mentality and a positive mindset and setting goals for yourself, and not just setting them but about trying to attempt to achieve them, little baby steps, instead of trying to take on the entire world, just doing little baby steps and doing more laser focus on one or two things to accomplish your goals. That's where I'm at right now, I'm telling you. But journaling gives you a safe space and place. There's something, you could think about your gratitude or think about your goals or anything in your head, but they get lost in your mind. At least with this, it's when I'm thinking about all the things that I'm grateful for, or thinking about all the things that I want to accomplish, the mind combined with the writing of it and getting it on a physical piece of paper, onto a physical piece of paper like this. And then you get a chance to, when things start to manifest, you can be like, oh my god, wait a minute, I know that I wrote this somewhere. This has happened to me about 5 or 6 times already since I started journaling, that I'd be like, wait a minute, something will happen, and then I'll be like, oh my God, wait a minute, let me go back into my journal. Oh my God, I wrote it down on this date, and then what I'm doing now is that I go back into my journal and I'll write down manifested on this date. So this allows you to be able to hold accountability for your thoughts, and also too, and it's okay that there are days you're not feeling well. There are days that I'm feeling like total crap. There are days that I cry. There are days that I feel angry. There are days that I feel my shadow sides like really hardcore. And I write them down, and it releases them for me. I write down what things that people have done onto me that I forgive them for. I'm trying to release all this negative baggage. So when 2019 comes and just all the upcoming years, I am released of all that negative baggage. I don't want to come into 2019 with old things from the past. And this allows me to be able to express all emotions, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, put in all my goals, all my dreams, and then it's just fun to look back on them when things actually do manifest. So I highly recommend starting to journal. And if you're stuck in a place of what to write about, don't censor yourself. Even if you only write, some days I only write 1 or 2 sentences in a day. Don't feel forced that you have to write out like a whole bunch of pages. Let the inspiration carry you through this, and even if you only write 1 word a day, or one thing you're grateful for a day, you're beginning that process of bringing yourself into a more positive mindset, which is really exciting and really awesome. So I definitely highly recommend it. It definitely, from my journey, it has healed me in so many different ways, especially when you feel like you don't have outlets to express yourself to other people. But sometimes it's best to just sort of work things out on your own, because then you start getting confused. Or remember, people can only give you advice and give you advice about things through their lenses, through their perception, through their perspective. So it's best just to follow your intuition, listen to your heart, listen to your mind, and really make, decisions from there. And like I said, even if you just take 1 page a day and write down a few things you're grateful for, pretty soon you're going to see a positive shift occurring in your life. Just let the control go, surrender to things. And surrender does not mean give up on things that you care about and that you love and that you want. But you've already set the intentions. Now go out there and do what you need to do to allow these to manifest. And with that being said, I would like to know if you guys journal, how it's helped you along your journey. And I'm just curious to see who you guys are, and so I would love for you all to leave your name and let me know where you're from. Hit the bell notification and the subscribe button so you're notified for all my future videos. Again, I appreciate your time, and this is E. Parker. I'm a sex educator, life coach, and a spiritual person, and I so look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!